Hello Naps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn and today we are going to be covering part 2 of our hopefully 9-part series on Gardner's multiple intelligences. Today's subject is going to be naturalistic intelligence. And while we do that, we're also going to have fun with some flora-inspired makeup. That means plants, baby. So let's get started. First things always first, let's get some primer out. So today I'm going to be using Nars Pore and Shine Control Primer. Dab it on. Nice and not shiny. Next thing, step 2, I'm going to be using some foundation, some Tarte Double Duty Face Tape Foundation in Light Sand. Oh shoot, I'm going to have to get more foundation soon. Probably a good thing because my shade match right now is a little funky. Let's dab it on. So, some of you might be wondering, oh my gosh, naturalistic? What the heck is that? That doesn't sound like anything I would have learned about in school. If you watched my last video, you have learned that there are 9 types of intelligences, and if you haven't watched my last video, go ahead and watch it. There is a playlist with all of the videos linked up in it so you can catch up and watch those there. 2 weeks ago, we covered spatial intelligence, which is all about how you interact with the physical world around you. And this week, naturalistic is also sort of about that, but in a different way. So the naturalistic intelligence is all about interacting with nature. Specifically, this intelligence is really good at categorizing, identification, and classification. Well, that's cool. Why does this look so off today? Anyway, as we go over all of these, be aware that all of my resources are going to be linked down below in the description. Check that out if you'd like, along with any makeup names or color names or anything. That'll all be down there, so you can go ahead and check it out. I'm going to go ahead and take my Boi-ing Benefit Under Eye Setting Powder and set my whole face with that. There we go, we're starting to match up a little bit better. A fun fact that I learned this time around when I was doing research, since I am not a professional, I learned that actually Howard Gardner, who is, the dude behind the theory of multiple intelligences, actually used a lot of brain science to figure out some of the intelligences. So he would look at brain scans and figure out which parts of the brain lit up where, and be able to coordinate those with different types of intelligences used. And that's how he was able to make the claim that people would lose intelligences if they went through certain diseases or had certain traumatic incidences. Also, I'm going to be using for blush the Jouer Rose Gold palette in, let's do Marigold, because I'm all about that slightly darker blush. I don't know. I'll do blush and then I'll do contour. I'll do it a little backwards today. So I'm going to use, instead of my normal contour that I'm going to use, I'm just going to use a neutral shade of Mary Kay eyeshadow. This one right here. It's kind of like a light coffee color. It doesn't have any shine to it. I'm just going to use a little bit of it. I don't want it to be too crazy. So I thought that was really cool. It wasn't just psychological evidence that Gardner was using in these theories. It was also brain science. Good to see evidence of that here. Next, I'm going to get out my Aurora Lights BH Cosmetics palette because, I really love using highlight from that. Even though it's an eyeshadow palette, I'm going to be using today shade Sparkling. A pretty orangey shade. This is going to be a little bit more, let's call it a complex look. Am I highlighted yet? I'm going to start to get my eyebrows together, I guess. But while we're talking about the face, let's face the facts about what exactly the naturalistic intelligence does. Some might think that identifying flora and fauna, maybe to some people it's no big deal, but to our hunter-gatherer ancestors, you would be quite wrong. That was a very, very big deal. It's the difference between picking up that poison plant and feeding your whole family that, or having a nice, healthy mushroom stew, perhaps. There's all sorts of plants that can kill you out there, and identification is important. Similarly, animal identification is important to that as well. A great example is the different types of bears: brown bears, black bears, You have to do different things depending on what type of bear you meet in the wild. It's important to know whether or not you should stop and act really like still and not threatening, or you should try and be as threatening as possible. And don't ask me which one's which, because I do not know. By the way, that was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Pomade in shade Ebony, and I will also be using their brow mascara in shade Ebony as well, just to keep all those bad boys in place. Along with the identification of animals, flora, and fauna being important, actually, naturalistic brain smarts, naturalistic intelligence, has a lot of importance with noticing changes in your environment around you. Specifically, we think about seasonal change. I'm going to be using my The Try by Juvia eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be starting with shade Ashanti. I'm gonna put that right in the crease. Oh, nope, I'm not. Nope, I'm gonna stop. I should be using eyeshadow primer. Ignore that, go back. Now we're going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer. Okay, and I'm gonna be using a brush. Okay, buff it on there. So we also see pattern recognition being really important in this, because the naturalist intelligence, subtle pattern recognition, knowing when the leaves start to shake. It might mean rain when they flip over and everything looks kind of silvery. That's a good little tip that I learned. Now, the particular website I got some of this information off of was called The Second Principle, and this particular article was written by some doctor whose name will be right there because I forgot to write it down. But she compiled a lot of the research for this, and I thought it was very interesting and very succinct, so I'm sharing it with you. And again, I'm using shade Ashanti. Acute sensory perceptions and discrimination is another element that's really popular in the naturalist's arsenal of tools and skills. And this isn't discrimination in like the negative terminology, but in the scientific terminology, meaning the ability to differentiate one thing from another. Next, I'm going to go in and get chaga, this middle one right here, this pretty shiny brown. Oh, and take the hairs off of my brush. You might have a natural intelligence if you have an interest in human behavior and habit, an affinity for outdoors or animals, an interest in interstellar activities, plants, animals, or general geology. And if maybe you were a little kid who collected a lot of rocks, or plants, or dead bugs, or alive bugs, all of the above. And again, this is natural, not in the general big capital G intelligence. This is natural in the world, like nature intelligence. I'm gonna take shade Coral right there. Yeah, I'm gonna use it on my brow bone, also in my inner corner. I think this is similar to what I did for my orangey Halloween look with all that like white and black liner. That video is linked up here too if you want to see that. I'm so shiny! Wait, did I do my eyebrow? I didn't do my eyebrow. Ooh, who is she? She's so sparkly. Oh my god. Next, I'm going to go in with my NYX Professional Makeup. Slide on, glide on, definitely a turn on waterproof extreme shine eyeliner. Got that in one breath. Look at me. In Glitzy Gold. Oh, that was a satisfying pop sound. I'm gonna run this almost all the way to the end of my eye, but not quite. I'm gonna make it rather thick because I'm still gonna do a black liner. And then I'm gonna take a little bit up in my brow as well, just for you guys. And then right up here. It looks a little weird right now. It's still gonna look weird later. I'm gonna add lots of liner today. I feel really empowered to wear a lot of eyeliner. Hopefully that turns out to be a good thing. I want to use my Milani the Tank eyeliner to wing it out. I don't know if that gold is gonna end up popping through here with that, but we'll see. All right, same thing to the other side. Okay, not too bad. Gonna add that little inner point. That's not a good look for eyeliner. That's not what that's supposed to look like. This one is very soft. This is Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Pencil, and this is in Perversion. If we want to get all scientific with it, by the way, go ahead and slap that pencil liner in your waterline. One of those things would be hierarchical reasoning. We sort of talked about it earlier, but now you know the big fancy word for it. Hierarchical reasoning is being able to rank the importance or significance of something. This item is more important to use in this project over this one. I can save this till the end. Executive functioning. I'm sure this has something to do with that too. Being able to know what is the most important thing to do ahead of time. I'm also going to take NYX Vivid Brights in Vivid Envy. And I'm going to pop a little bit right under here. Andrea, this is not the time. Okay, we got a little bit of green there. And this part, which I'm a little worried about, but it's gonna get more fantastical from here, so I signed up for this. I'm gonna take some into my brow for no apparent reason. Yep, green eyebrows. Wearable look of 2020 because everyone's inside. Anything is wearable when you don't have to show anybody. Anything. Oh, Pan vibes. Not like Pan the sexuality, but Pan like the little Greek god who was running around the forest with his like musical instrument, you know, having fun in the woods. These eyebrows. Definitely that. Also, I made a bunch of these like little paper flowers and they're really cute. So you're gonna see how I made them. I made some tiny ones too in this really quick fast forward version of it. Yay! What you're going to see here is me taking a piece of paper, tissue paper specifically, and cutting it into 4 about equal-sized squares. Yep. I just kind of cut one and then I cut it into quadrants and I stack them together. And then I'm going to cut little triangles out of each side. And that is going to leave what I am calling the petals. So those nice little pointy pieces that look kind of weird. They don't look like petals in this form exactly. But what you're going to do is you're going to twist the tissue paper and it is going to layer it and make it look a lot more like petals. I then stab a little sharp pen through the center and take a cut up twisty tie to secure them together and kind of pull them into shape. So there you go. If you want to make those at home, that is the simple, quick, and easy way to do it. Now, back to the regular video. Now, got my green eyebrows. I've got my everything else. I think I'm ready to start gluing stuff to my face. I should do this side. That's the smart thing to do. Am I going to listen to the smart thing to do? Yeah, today. Yep, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so along with all those like flowers, I cut out a bunch of like just petal shapes out of some 2 different shades of green tissue paper I had. You can use any color you want. Basically, I'm just gonna cross my fingers. This works. I'm gonna put some there and I'm gonna stick them to my face. Yep, just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that all over my face. And this is Ben Nye prosthetic adhesive, nothing fancy here, just skin safe glue. And by skin safe, I mean it's meant to go on skin. Please use stuff that's meant to go on your skin. Don't want any toxic stuff here. No, not happening. No, I want to use a green one. I want to use a light green one. They're both green, Jocelyn. Along with having hierarchical reasoning, because I said that right, definitely. People with this type of intelligence also have attribute orientation. So with attribute orientation, people with this intelligence can find common traits among things. How exciting. I don't know if I like that one that low, but I'm gonna try putting the glue on that this time. I kind of like tissue paper. It gives it a nice little bit of texture. We also got the ability to categorize in this group. That one makes sense. That one is just like, this fits in this category, that fits in that category. And these people can do it by characteristic or attribute. What the difference is? Ding! Characteristic and attribute. There we go. Yay! I made some long pieces too. I guess I was gonna try and do vines. You can just really cut up tissue paper however you want it. It's light enough and go pretty much anywhere. And because it's tissue paper, I can kind of curl it with my finger. I'm just gonna kind of stick a couple of these curlicues. I leave a flat piece out so it sticks to my face a little bit better. Yep, there we go. Oh, there's also schematic memory, which is kind of a cool one. And that's actually how you store the memories that you're making. A heightened ability to internalize and recall information by category or by hierarchical classification. And then the very last one is natural orientation, which is being able to identify with organisms in their natural environment. Why the heck did I close my glue just now? That made no sense. Next, I'm gonna take my flowers that I made and try and find fun little spots for them. I'll just make a little hook on the back and then try and hide them in there like, okay, it's not horrendous. I can dig that. The goal is to look like I am one with nature. A very paper nature. Put a good pat of that there. Yep, there we go. Got one on. And let's get one over here. Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah. And then I'm gonna have one right here. And this is honestly a pretty fun, quick thing. Well, considering it's a little complex, the actual making of the flowers is pretty quick. And so if you needed something kind of fun to add to like a cosplay or a Halloween costume, it's honestly pretty doable. And it's tissue paper, so you can go to like the dollar store and get a ton of this stuff. You could totally make this Christmassy and do like poinsettias or whatever you want to do. Be the creative you know? I feel cute. But you know what makes me feel even cuter? A red lip and some eyelashes. So let's get going with that. For the red lip, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit in Missy and Fierce. Ooh. And today I'm going to be using my Lunar Angel lashes, part of their faux collection in Supernova. And just in case you didn't know, I now have an affiliate link to Lunar Angel lashes, which I'm really excited about. If you're digging any of these lashes and you feel the desire to purchase them, if you use the link in the description below or code NAPS, N-A-P-S, at checkout, then you can get 15% off of your order of lashes, and you can also support me. So there we go, win-win. So this is the first thing that I've been able to do on this channel that will offer me some compensation for my makeup addiction. It's not a problem, I promise. I'm using my Ben Nye prosthetic adhesive like I used for my fleurs here. And I'm going to pop it on these lashes, wait a minute for them to dry, and then we'll come back in a second. And here we are, the finished look. Warm weather vibes, considering it is not warm weather outside. I forgot to mention that I popped mascara on my lashes before putting the falsies on. That would be the Clinique High Impact Mascara in black. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave me a comment telling me if you identify with the natural intelligence, if you have some of these things, or if you just enjoyed the look, tell me that too. Don't forget to come and visit me on Thursdays, or hit the subscribe button, ding the notification bell, and then, yeah, I'll see you here anyway. So, have a nice day, Naps. Bye.